Harness the full potential of your first-party data with NextDrive from Vericast. NextDrive is an all-in-one solution that simplifies your data challenges. It allows you to unite your customer data, elevate your perspective, activate marketing intelligence, and learn insights so you can keep improving your marketing performance. NextDrive powers your data strategy while future-proofing your marketing strategy. Influence and activate your marketing at vericast.com/nextdrive. That's vericast.com/NXTDRIVE.
Hi, I'm John Dioso, editor of Ad Age Studio 30. Welcome to a special Studio 30 bonus episode of the Marketer's Brief podcast, brought to you by our sponsor, Vericast. Today I'm talking with Marc Mathies, Senior Vice President at Vericast, about the imminent end of third-party cookies and what marketers should be doing to adjust to this brave new world. Google's third-party cookie deprecation is already underway this year, with a promise that 100% will be deprecated by the end of 2024. According to Ad Age's reporting, industry experts say that many marketers still don't have a clear strategy to deal with this enormous change in how they aggregate consumer data. Now here's my conversation with Marc. Hi, Marc. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, John. It's great to be here.
All right, let's get into it. The concept of the cookie apocalypse has become a cliche, but so is the idea of first-party data as a silver bullet. So how should brands think about first-party data now, and how do they future-proof their marketing strategies?
Yeah, thanks for that question, John. We've been dealing with this for a number of years, right? Firefox did their enactment of beginning cookie deprecation in 2019. Apple Safari followed in 2020, and Google is now here with their tracking protection feature, which hit on January 4th and affected about 30 million consumers worldwide. And you're right, they are making statements that they plan to get us to 100% deprecation at some point in the future. I presume that'll happen relatively quickly now that all the chips have started to fall. I think, what does that mean for the industry? Well, it could mean a couple of things. It could mean the death of retargeting or remarketing as we know it. We're going to start to see some third-party data sources start to dry up that relied on those cookies for their information. And one of the antidotes that we feel makes a strong case is first-party data strategy. And this is where a lot of brands are leaning into right now. So first-party data strategy is a natural thing for personalization of ads for things like direct consumer engagement across email, SMS, and the like. But what people don't think about is it could be used for an acquisition strategy. And we use a common tried and true tactic called lookalike modeling, but we've had to reimagine it in this new world, right? The idea of taking what you know about a very rich data source as a brand that you have, not just your CRM, but your data that you have from purchase history and behaviors. You know your customer better than anybody. So if you can take that and model an audience based on those attributes, and then find people out in the world that are likely to be customers and drive them into your funnel, well, they're going to have a much higher LTV. They're going to be able to drive reduced ad spending. And we feel this is a strategy that is going to pay off in terms of a significant, not only just an antidote against first-party data challenges, but also for future-proofing your marketing business in general.
Vericast recently had a study that was conducted in partnership with Prosper Insights and Analytics, and you found that 73% of respondents agree that most first-party data solutions today don't deliver effective media across print and digital channels. So is this a chicken and egg situation? Which came first? So you have marketers from Ad Age's reporting saying they don't have a clear strategy, but then a lot of people in your study saying they don't believe that most first-party data solutions are effective.
Yeah, I think the challenge with that is they may not be effective in the way they were enacted, right? So the challenge is, what is your approach? How are you going about it? I mean, I don't think there's any denying that collecting more first-party data, more building out the profiles of your customers is a tactic that you cannot dispute in terms of the benefit and the value. But how are you enacting these third-party data platforms, right? So some of it has to do with People have put first-party data solutions in place. They bought into a technology that was extraordinarily expensive. They've seen scope creep happening because they didn't have a necessary focus on how does it impact advertising. Plus, I think some people just yet haven't stitched together how you're going to get from point A to point B. How are you going to take first-party data, which has largely been, up until this point in the industry, used for retention and loyalty plays, right, in terms of being able to engage customers directly, and how do you apply it to the acquisition funnel? That's the piece that hasn't been fully connected, and that's where we're focusing a lot of our time on our NextDrive platform.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. So you recently launched that NextDrive platform. So it's a data platform that you're labeling as a CDMP.
Yep.
Explain what is the difference between a CDMP and a traditional CDP?
Yeah, well, first off, I appreciate the question, and I would just say, no, the industry does not need another acronym. We have plenty, thank you. We chose that particular acronym, CDMP, Customer Data Marketing Platform, because of its natural ties to CDP. And that made it a little bit easier for us to explain to those in the market what we were trying to accomplish. The first value proposition of what we're trying to do is that concept of uniting all your disparate first-party data, not just your CRM, but your purchase history, your behaviors, your website visits over time, and stitching it together into that profile, creating like sort of a 360-degree view of a customer. And that was the first value proposition, very similar to the same value proposition of a CDP. So we felt it was easy for us to convey to the industry where we were attempting to go. But we knew that we weren't going to stop there, and it was going to be different. Where a lot of CDPs and other solutions fall short is they build a tool set, right? And they hand the marketing team, who's already overburdened by being asked to do more with less, and they're given a tool, and there's, here's the login credentials and maybe some training, and now go build your first party data strategy. And we didn't want to stop there. We wanted to take the decades of history that we have on our side. We wanted to truly be an extension to the marketers team at the brands and help them, develop the strategy together. And that's the approach that we've taken.
Got it. So like you said, you mentioned brands. You collaborated with a number of different brand partners to examine a variety of use cases to build NextDrive. How did this help inform what NextDrive ultimately became? And perhaps more importantly, what kinds of insights that a CDMP could identify to help inform better and more accurate marketing strategies?
Yeah, I'm exceptionally proud of the way we went about deciding to get this product to market. For the first time in my involvement in the history of our company, there were many before me, but this is the first time where I've been able to be part of a project at our company where we took the necessary time to listen to what our clients needed, right? And we worked with third-party consultants, and they were able to put us in contact with clients in the same space who were not our customers. And we interviewed both, those inside or stable and those outside. And we combined the data points that we were hearing, and some themes started to emerge. And one of those main themes was we're challenged if we have to move to a first-party data strategy because our data is in disparate systems all over the board. It's in various states of health, right, in terms of being able to use it. So those clients told us time in and time out that this was a huge challenge for them. They knew, they've read the white papers, they knew that they needed to be developing this strategy, but they didn't know how to get started. And we knew that we had the ability at our company, from our history of working with customers' first-party data sources, our own collected first-party data sources, that we were in a very good position to help our clients. So our strategy to take this customer data marketing platform to market was really, I'm really excited about the time that we took to learn what the clients were asking for and then responded to it with, we think, the right product for the right time.
Let's take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsor, Vericast.
Marketers today face an unprecedented data dilemma. Uniting customer data, deriving actionable insights, and creating meaningful and personalized connections with those customers is a challenge in the post-cookie world. NextDrive, the customer data marketing platform from Vericast, helps marketers harness the full potential of their first-party data and find the right signals in the noise. Learn more at vericast.com/nextdrive. That's vericast.com/NXTDRIVE.
And we're back. So before we took that break there, Marc, we mentioned working with different brand partners to kind of come up with, to help build the platform, the NextDrive CDMP platform. One of those brand partners was American Furniture Warehouse. What insights did your collaboration with AFW reveal? And in other words, if I'm a mid-market brand like American Furniture Warehouse, why is a CDMP right for me?
Yeah, American Furniture Warehouse, and for those of you that aren't familiar, they're a regional furniture company with about 18 stores, and they were expanding into some new markets when we were just coming onto the platform. And they wanted to take a look at these markets and understand a little bit better about what drives customers into their traditional brick and mortar stores. And they thought they knew some things from doing business in a number of states. And what they knew to be fact was that customers would drive up to 20 miles to come into their stores. And we took a look at their market, and it was interesting. The modeling that we've created within our NextDrive platform has the ability to take a look at a geography and determine whether households that fall within that geography are likely to be customers or not customers based on attributes that we've learned from looking at their first-party data sources. We quickly realized that there was a lot of customers for American Furniture Warehouse that were outside of the 20-mile radius. In fact, we were able to map it all the way out to a 40-mile radius, and we actually ran some advertising to test against that. And we saw 55% sales lift, and we turned a ROAS of about $6.92 for those early tests. So that's just one example and one of the first case studies that we published with American Furniture Warehouse that sort of proved out some of these cases.
Well, so first, using first-party data solutions to basically grow a business and expand outreach to various customers and even expand where they actually are located. That's one example. Is there another example that you could point to from any other brand partner or AFW in particular, or any other brand partner where, you know, they were able to use some type of first-party data to really kind of really affect the business? Because that's something that seems like new insight.
Yeah, we're in the very early stages. We just launched our platform commercially on the 14th of February. So we don't have a ton of published case studies. We do have a ton of examples where we're working with. We actually have 7 brands on the platform. Not all of them I can mention by name, but a few of them we're doing media mix analysis. We're doing similar geographic testing to what we did with American Furniture Warehouse. I can tell you the other outcome that came out of running some of the experimentation so far with American Furniture Warehouse is that we started to learn that some media channels perform better than others. And we were able to shift a bunch of their media from standard display and mobile and video to CTV, which performed very well in our early testing. And CTV is sort of maybe the hot channel of the moment. And that has really driven a lot of their early success with us.
Right. I'm glad you brought up CTV. There's a lot of proof of concept that investment, that media investment might make some sense. Okay, we have time for one more question, and I'd love you to put on your prognosticating hat. What does the rest of the year look like for the ad industry in general as 100% cookie deprecation gets closer and closer to reality? And once it is reality, what do you think will dominate the conversation next year?
Yeah, there's a number of things for the industry that are going to be changing because of this cookie deprecation. Number one, targeting tactics have to change. I mentioned one with leaning into your first-party data strategy. The other is leaning into contextual targeting. So finding partners that have sort of figured out. I sort of feel like if you've been in the industry for more than 10 years, you remember contextual targeting by other names, right? Direct to publisher advertising or so forth. But it's not a new concept, but because of the amount of work and the learning that we've done over the past few years, contextual targeting has really taken on a whole new life in terms of the intelligence that is now behind it. We've created some interesting proprietary ways of looking at content and how to match ads contextually that I think are going to really make a difference in the future. So that's another antidote to some of these challenges that we're seeing in the industry. AI is a big example. I know it's the hottest 2 letters in the industry right now to talk.
You had to say it. I mean, we had to bring it up, right?
Right. So there's a lot of things so beyond some of the simple tactics that I know marketers are doing, like using, AI generators to create content, some of their copy, there's some testing, there's some even really small marketing teams can play with some of the chat GPT and freely available solutions out there. But when you really want to get to the next level and start to use like large language models for deterministic algorithms and improving your insights, right now there's a significant barrier to entry into some of that more complicated use of AI. And as an industry, I'll say it right now, we cannot let that happen. There's so many marketing teams that are small, they're overburdened, they're being asked to do more with less, and we can't let AI slow down their development. AI should be there to make a marketer's job easier, and they shouldn't have to have a computer science degree as well as their marketing degree to be able to do their job. So it's up to partners. Like we consider that we take on that mantle as a vendor partner that will bring our data science team along with us to help our clients. And I would implore others who are suppliers and vendors and agencies in this space to do the same. We have to help marketers use AI to their advantage. And that would be what I would ask of the industry.
All right, well, we are out of time, but we did fill in our AI bingo card. So Marc, thank you for that. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. This has been great.
And that was Marc Mathies, the Senior Vice President of Vericast, and I'm John Dioso, editor of Ad Age Studio 30. I'd like to thank our producer, Lauren Ciardio, and invite you to subscribe to the Marketer's Brief podcast on your favorite player. We promise to keep it brief, or at least short enough for your morning coffee.